everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for coming and joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. I am Kat, just in case you guys don't know, joined by my co-host Rod right there next to me. And below us are two gentlemen who have been on before, and I've had the pleasure of meeting them both in person as well. We have Mr. just hit 30,000 subscribers below me down there, Scot, ChaChingKing, and Caddy Corner is Mikey Bags of Money. So I'm going to make these guys big, let them introduce themselves. The link to their channels will be dropped in the chat and it's in the description. So definitely check them out if you have not yet. And here is Scott.
Hi.
No, don't you do that. You tell them something. I'm just going to let you stare at them otherwise.
All right. It's going to be a long show. Hey, I'm always happy to be here. I hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, which blows me away. And I don't know what else to say. I'm glad I'm here.
You could move your lips and I could talk. I'll tell him after we get back. All right, Mikey, go ahead.
All right. Well, right next to me is Scot the ChaChingKing. He has an awesome YouTube channel. It'll teach you more than you'll ever need to know about eBay. So make sure you check it out. He's a good guy. Just got 30,000 subscribers. There you go. As for me, I'm Mikey Bags of Money. I love to go to thrift stores, garage sales. I bring you along in my videos. I'm also back to live streaming every Friday night, walking around Las Vegas. This Friday, we're going to go check out the Sphere. So if you've seen that trending in Las Vegas, I'm going to go walk, check that out, bring you along. And thanks to Kat and Rod, I really enjoyed meeting you guys over at Camp List Perfectly. You guys are awesome. I'm so lucky to know you, and thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Perfect. The only thing that freaks me out about the Sphere is the eyeball. I'm not feeling the eyeball that much. Everything else I thought was super cool about the Sphere, but the eyeball kind of creeped me out a little bit. And I think creepy. Up close it would super creep. It's gonna I saw all the comments. It's definitely going to cause accidents.
Oh, without a doubt. It's huge and you just stare at it.
Yeah. All right, Gino has been waiting for 3 hours already, and he posted this an hour ago. So Gino's been waiting for 4 hours, so he wants to know if we serve free drinks or snacks. We can virtually give them to you, Gino. Gino, I forgot to upload the new friggin' super chat. Darn it, and Rods. Man, Cat, I'm sucking. Rod and new. I'm writing notes doesn't always help. Melanie sent us a $5 super sticker. Speaking of super chats, even though I don't have the lovely 2 new ones that Gino made for us, I will give you another one. We'll give you this one. This is the first one Gino made for me. Melanie, thank you so much. Dun, 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 dun. I have purple hair there. I noticed I have purple hair in a lot of places and I need to either make my hair purple again or change some pictures. one or the other. All right. David joined the membership. Oh, I need to do that too. Kat, I'm going to have a big...
Right over your heads. He just totally missed it. But
what, huh? What? I was making a list. What'd you say?
I think people were thinking about your purple hair all over the place.
Listen, buddy. Oh, I'm absent-minded right now. David joined the membership, and I was going to say it's a good time to join membership because this Thursday at 7 p.m. is my listing reviews. And I will post here soon for you guys to put up your listings or a link to your store if you're in the membership and want a listing review. That's once a month, and it is this Thursday. So I don't get to play this one often. So David, here's your dolphin.
Welcome to the flipping family.
Members, got to make a note. I'm losing my mind. Okay. Thank you so much. All right, questions. Gino, we're sending you virtual snacks. Lynn wants to know, Scott, you have to know the answer to this. Do I have to edit each of my first class listings one by one to Ground Advantage, or is there a way to bulk edit? And she says it is a nightmare.
I'm actually working on that this week. But if you have been using shipping policies and you have like a first class policy, you can literally just go in and change the name of it, and then you're golden. If you don't have shipping policies, you have been creating shipping policies every time you ship. So I am trying to figure out a way to bulk edit that, because somebody I know doesn't use shipping policies and has to. So
And
I
a
will
lot of
figure that
people
out
don't
this
like
week.
them, I will say too.
Right. So as of right now, for the next 30 days, you don't need to do anything. For the next 30 days, it's automatic. My gut says that if it creates a real problem, eBay will, I don't know why it has to even be an issue. Like, it's, if they can do it automatic for 30 days. So, but as of right now, you don't need to do anything. I know there's a bunch of us working on it, trying to figure out if there's a way to bulk edit more quickly, but I don't have it yet.
Yeah, bulk edit. I have shipping policies. I go in there and bulk edit. Like when I just left on vacation, I just changed all my bulk editing days to 5-day shipping, and I moved it to 4-day and 3 days. So that's what I recommend. I never can find out exactly where the shipping policies are. I have to Google it every time. So I can't help you on that, but you can bulk edit all your shipping in the shipping policy department.
I haven't done any of it, so sent the cat.
I say, so Scott said for 30 days, eBay's changing it. I say eBay's not going to leave all these items on there not able to sell, and I say they're going to change it for us. So I say you do nothing. If I'm wrong in 30 days, you can come and get me, but there is no way in HE double hockey sticks that I will be editing 6,000 listings. No way. So they can either figure it out or the crap won't sell. I mean, like, I'm not editing 6,000 listings. I'm not.
I was gonna say, I'd rather pay the difference and just pay out of my pocket than have to go back and waste time editing all my listings and just pay the extra $2, whatever it be, or $1, because it's the amount of time I waste about the manually go through is just not worth it. So
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, Mark for once in his life is not late, and he still sent a $5 super chat. He said no late fee, but he's sending a special congrats to Scott for hitting 30. What did I just do? 30,000 subscribers. I'm clicking things and the chat went away and I'm all confused. All right, let's do this one.
Hi, I'm Goddess.
That kid. New Jersey Picker said it took me 3.5 hours to edit all my listings last night. It was sort of easy, but time consuming and figuring out what was and what was not going to become ground advantage. So my question to you, New Jersey Picker, would be how many listings do you have that it took 3.5 hours? Because I have 6,000. So yeah, but the thing, like, then I would have to look through them all. So Bruce is saying you have to look through and whatever's under £1. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I mean, I'm sure we
I will
can eyeball. I mean, I'm sure if you quick look through and you can eyeball your listings and see what you know is going to be under £1 for majority of the items that you do have listed. So that might be an easy way to sort it through. But
if you change them to like £1 and under to ground advantage and they're only 4 ounces, you're going to make the cost of shipping higher if you edit them all bulk like that.
Yeah.
Like, because if you have to put a weight in, you would have to pick all your 4 ounce, all your 8 ounce, all your 12s and do it that way, unless it leaves the weight there. If anybody knows, if it leaves the weight and you just change to the advantage, maybe. Does the ground advantage work for over £1?
I shipped ground advantage today for something that weighs 6 pounds.
Yeah, so what else went away? First class and what else?
Parcel select and
The retail ground?
yeah, the retail ground.
So that means all my listings.
They did this just because of you.
Yeah. It does leave the weight and works up to 70 pounds.
Nice.
So if you get the urge, there you go. Miss Julie and Mike, we met them at Phoenix as well. One Way Vintage. Hello, Julie and Mike. Best advice to sell 2 huge Fenton glass lamps. Facebook Market, eBay Local, or what else would you suggest?
I mean, for me, I do everything on eBay. Local doesn't work for me unless it's really valuable, because if it's not really valuable, nobody's going to drive out to where I live. So I hate glass. I hate it. It has to be worth it for me to double box it and make sure. And so if these huge Fenton glass lamps are worth $500, sure, I'll just put them on eBay and ship them. If they're worth $50, I will let my friends have them, put them in their antique shop.
I would say if you want the most money, go for eBay, do the shipping, risk it all. But what I like to do, if something's too breakable or too big, I'll sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I know I'll take less money, but I don't have the risk of anything breaking. I don't have to pack it up. I hand it over to them and say, good luck. So depends on if you want to go for the dollars or you want to go for the safety, I would say. You can list them on both too. Never hurts to cross post.
Offer up in Facebook Marketplace, because I don't want to ship any big things of glass because I will break it. So unless, I mean, I will, but double box it, triple box it, whatever, quadruple box it, whatever you got to do at that point.
Yeah, I don't remember where you guys live, but I would, if it is enough money, like Scott said, I will figure out how to ship it on eBay. And you will get more money typically if you will ship it. If it's enough profit, you can bring it to a UPS store and pay them to pack it, so you don't even have to deal with that. And then you have an extra level of insurance. It wouldn't hurt to list them on Facebook Marketplace or even Craigslist. It really just depends on your market. Like here where I'm at, I don't feel like I would have a really big market for expensive lamps, but I sold a Craftsman toolbox and people drove up from Tampa. So if people really want them and they're rare, they might drive a couple hours to get them. So let me give her dolphin. And then I see another super chat came in. Oh, I was going to do one, but I'm going to do a different one. I'm going to give you the pillow fight, Julie. Here you go.
Kat, question for you. What does UPS charge to package up an item for individual, if anyone in the chat wants to go that route?
It depends on what it is. So I will tell you typically, like, and the only reason I know this is because I get a lot of items shipped from High Bid that those auctions bring to the store. It's typically about double. So if the shipping is, say, $40, it's going to cost you $80. So, like, I've gotten, like, 3 40-pound boxes and it cost $300, where if the auction would have shipped them directly, it would have been like $150. So I would figure about double. So I would either want the profit in those lamps to cover that, or you could, we talked about handling fee last week, or you could add like a $40 handling fee so that it's paid. And if they're expensive enough, people aren't going to really question that shipping typically as much as on a lower priced item. Miss Beachwalker Lisa sent a $5 super chat and said, what happens to my eBay account if I take an extended vacation? I do have List Perfectly. Will that keep my listings safe if something happens to eBay?
I mean, it depends upon what extended vacation means. If it's 6 weeks, I don't think anything will happen on eBay. If it's 6 months or longer and you're not active at all, I don't know. I mean, it takes a long time for it to get kicked over into, because they want your money. You're still having your listings go live every month. So, but on the flip side of that, the other part of the question with List Perfectly, absolutely. List Perfectly is going to, if you have your listings on List Perfectly and eBay were to lose its mind and take them all down, List Perfectly will still have your listings on there.
Yep, and it really depends on what extended vacation means. For sure, you got to take all your listings down. You can't take an extended vacation with any listings up, because if you don't ship out the items, eBay is going to definitely take your account down. But if you want to just take all your listings down, not for sale, and take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long you want, I don't think there's really going to be a problem with that. And since you do have List Perfectly, you can have all those listings are ready just to fire back on there. Even if you took them all the way down, you could just, once you're ready to go, it doesn't take long if you know List Perfectly. So you could fire those up real easily. So I don't think you really have much to worry about if you took an extended vacation, as long as you make sure all your listings are down while you're on vacation.
Yeah, for me, so anytime I take a vacation, if it's 7 days or less, I just extend my shipping time. You know, for anything over, say, 10 days or maybe 10 days and under, I'll just extend my shipping time, something in that ballpark. But if it's going to be over that 2 weeks or longer, I'm going to just put my store in vacation mode. But if I'm going to be gone for an extended period of time, we're talking weeks, months, I'm just going to shut my store down. You know, the good thing though, like I have List Perfectly, all my files are backed up in List Perfectly at that point in time. So, you know, if you end all your listings and then you want to come back and just relist it 3 months later, you're going to be good to go. You're going to have fresh listings up, and it might actually benefit your store because everything's going to be fresh and they hit the algorithm right away. And it may not be a bad thing. It's almost like a fresh start. And sometimes a fresh start helps get stale things going. And so, yeah, I mean, I've known people that just took weeks off and just shut their store down and restarted and was selling things that they had up in their store for a year at a time. So it just depends.
Yeah, so anything under 2 weeks, you can still sell stuff, which is what I do. And that is vacation or not. It's time away. Time away is the one where you can still sell things. So you can do time away for up to 2 weeks. And then if it's over, that's when you do the vacation mode. But I think everybody else covered. Like, you definitely will have that backup. Doves in the Crosswalk said they went on vacation 3 months. Everything was fine when they came back. So I'm not sure how long you were going to go, but it sounds like 3 months and you will still be good. Yes. Going down south, coming down here to visit me and Rod. Perfect. All right. I saved the beach super chat for Miss Lisa. Here you go. The mad little kid, the little boss kid. We're trying to get him to sleep in his own bed. So he has slept in our bed his whole life. Well, until he was 1, he was in the crib. I behaved because of SIDS, and then he moved in with us. So he slept in there one night, and he's like, I slept in my own bed. And then he came back. So we are trying to get him out of our bed. We are trying. Let's see. And we have a ton of questions. So if you have them, definitely get them in tonight. You need to get them in early. We have 23 questions already in line. So get them in early.
Please put question in front of the actual question so we can find it in the chat, because the chat does get real busy.
Yes, don't think you'll offend us with all caps. It really helps us see it better. Miss Phyllis says her listings magically all changed themselves. So she knew the elf at eBay. See, that's my thought, Miss Phyllis. I'm with you. The eBay elf will fix it. I completely agree. That's my thought too. Miss Linda wants to know if any of us have had any luck selling junk drawer lots, and would you do it on auction or buy it now?
I haven't done a junk drawer lot. I have done like mixed jewelry. Like a lot of times I'll save costume jewelry and I just wait for a nice little box, you know, and I usually put that on an auction with a minimum bid that I can live with. And, you know, but I haven't tried a junk drawer lot. I would think depending upon how you show it, I think it could do well. But for me, I do an auction and maybe it'll pop up there and be worth more than I thought.
Yeah, I haven't sold any junk drawer lots myself, but I think you'd probably want to go auction. I do see like some people on Whatnot that sell like junk drawers and like things from whole homes, estate sales. And it's kind of exciting when they have that box and they're shaking it and looking through it. So if you could sell it live, you might be able to get a little more anticipation on it. But I think it's kind of cool, interesting. You never know what you're going to get, but I've never sold one.
So I have sold multiple in the past. I always go auction because the whole purpose of a junk drawer is getting all your little knickknacks and all your little items that you just have laying around and throw them in a and a lot and just get rid of them. That's the whole purpose of really having a junk drawer. The best thing I tell you though, when you do a junk drawer, make sure you put all of your high-end key items dead right in the front center. So that way people will see them right away, take really good photos. And now you can take up to 24 photos. So if you're going to have, say, 50 or 100 items in there, take a lot of close-ups of different parts of that lot. And I always start alone, just let it run. The junk drawer is really for me just to clear stuff out. I don't care what it sells for. If I get $10, if I get $100, the whole purpose is just to move stuff laying around that I can't. Junk drawers are great for items that you normally won't list, especially with eBay raising the price for shipping now for lower end items. It is going to be beneficial for people to start looking to bundle things together, and a junk drawer is a great option.
Yeah, and I haven't sold a bunch, but I agree. I would do auctions, start at the lowest you're willing to take and let it go. Make sure it's stuff you can just let it go. All right. We have 2 super chats, and they are both from ladies who absolutely love the pillow fight super chat. I know that for a fact. So you're getting back to back pillow fight super chats. Miss Susan sent
Everybody
a $5 super chat. They're like, we don't want it. They just take off. All right. And then I saw Miss Barbara too, who loves a pillow fight. So here comes some more pillow fighting. All right, Miss Barbara's favorite too. If you don't like the pillow fight, tonight's a bad night. Tonight's a bad night for you. All right, Miss Barbara sent a $5 one as well. She also likes the pillow fight, so here it is again. I see the thank yous. You're welcome. I remember who likes which. Oh yeah, they should totally make me a Mikey and Scot pillow fight. If Scot comes to Las Vegas, we will make that happen.
All right.
You're not encouraging this to happen. I'm going to bring one of those antique feather pillows that weigh like 75 pounds.
And they're going to like, poof.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut a hole in them, and then they'll go. Whew. That it would be hysterical. I agree. That would be absolutely great. All right, let's see. What do we got? Miss Rachel said, what is the craziest excuse you ever got from a buyer to cancel soon after purchasing? Mine was my 7-year-old son stole my credit card and made the buy. I'll wait till my turn. I'll be quiet.
I had somebody that bought a shirt, and then they immediately sent me a question, which is always lovely after they've already bought it. And they wanted to know how big the neck hole was. And they said, I'm sorry, my head will never fit through that. And so they wanted to cancel because their head was too big. So I was like, okay.
Mine is the kid. I get them quite often. Oh, I'm so sorry my kid ordered that. I'm so sorry my kid ordered that. That's pretty much the usual one I get. Can't remember anything too crazy, but lots of kids. If I had kids, I guess I blame them for my mistakes, because that seems to be what parents like to do on eBay.
So I had one where, I don't know if the person was crazy or not, but they were telling me that they didn't purchase the item, that it was a glitch. But before that, they were sending me messages, asking me questions. I was answering their questions about the item. They purchased the item, and then was trying to tell me that they never seen the item before and didn't want to purchase it. So, but nothing like too crazy.
So as a mother of a 4-year-old child, that has happened. So those are not fake. Dalton has bought stuff on eBay on my phone. And because I have my payment saved, there's no lock because really only I use my phone. He doesn't get on it anymore, but when he was actually 2 when he did it. And I also, not just the kid, the husband. My husband, like somebody sent an offer, and I'm sure all of you know this because you're listing. And when you look at stuff, the sellers send you offers. And Brad thought it was somebody offering the money to us, and he accepted it. in turn purchasing the item from someone else that I just listed. And I told them it was a mistake and I asked. So I guess I might be that crazy person saying, I was just looking at your listing to copy it. I really didn't mean to buy it. My husband, and actually another seller has given me that reason. Like, oh, I was listing one just like this and I thought you were offering to buy mine.
I had that
And
one happen also.
for them. I canceled it, you know. What's up, Trish? Trish, who was the amazing organizer of Camp Listing Party, sent us a $9.99 super chat and said, thanks for everything at Camp List Perfectly. I had a blast. Thanks to Mikey and Rod. Also, yes, we had a great, great time. I just recorded a podcast segment with Doug yesterday for the List Perfectly podcast. So not just like a recap. I don't know when it's coming out. Maybe Trish knows. All right, which one would Trish like the most? I'm giving Trish the OG super chat. Here you go. Super chat. The first super chat ever made for this channel is that one. What is going on tonight? All these super chats. Super chats. We will be giving away stuff, guys. We will be giving away List Perfectly swag and some tape from American Bubble Boy tonight. I will not forget. Miss Jessica sent a $10 super chat and said she's looking to get rid of most of her death pile / money mountain and focus on higher value items. We'd like to make some of our money back instead of donating it all. Suggestions on how to move it quickly.
I am the worst one to ask because I give it all away. I don't have an answer because like I'm doing what you don't want to do. So I ask Mikey, that's what I would do.
All right. Well, start asking your friends, other resellers. If you belong to any local Facebook groups, you probably want to try to sell this stuff to another reseller that maybe buys in bulk, maybe has plenty of money. They don't mind a death pile. If it's good stuff, someone out there is going to want it. So ask your friends, definitely other fellow resellers. If you already sell on Whatnot, you could try to get rid of it that way, but probably just bulk find somebody through Facebook or a reseller group that will take it all off your hands.
So do me a favor, put in the chat, Reseller Ride, where you're located at. So if we have anyone that's close by, maybe interested in purchasing your items. So we can at least try to get that ball rolling for you here. Mikey did cover a good portion of it. I would reach out to other resellers, but also too, find people locally on Facebook Marketplace and offer up. They're selling the same items that you, or same category of items that you have, and reach out and message them. I used to get messages all the time on my listings where people say, hey, I see you're selling this. Would you be interested? I have XYZ, or hey, I used to be a reseller in this category. I'm blowing out my items. You know, that's a good way to make contacts, but also too, is a good way to get leads. And if they say no, they're not interested, just ask them if they know anyone that might be, because every reseller knows another reseller. And, you know, that's going to be a really good way for that. Your social media, you know, Instagram, Facebook, just regular post it up, because you have online, you're going to have a bunch of resellers that are going to follow you. So that might be something you would be interested in doing. Even if you're willing, it sounds like you're willing to donate it, but you're willing to either break even or take a small loss in that. So I would just, post up on I know you're in a Discord. I'm in a Discord with you. So people in that Discord may want to be interested in buying some stuff too. But that would be, take good photos, put a big lot up and just post it on Facebook. On Instagram, put a bunch of hashtags, looking to sell us off cheap. And I'll share it for you. A bunch of other people will share it, and let's get your stuff sold.
Yeah, so I would say just have realistic expectations, because I get messages all the time, and if you were a newer reseller when you bought it, chances are you might have overpaid for it. So I don't think I would necessarily expect to get what you paid for it, because people that have asked me what they paid for it are trying to get me to pay them double or triple what I would pay for it. So I would say make sure you have realistic expectations going in, and that might be losing money, but that's still better than donating it. I agree. Local group, just make sure it's okay, because some of the groups don't want you, like trying to sell stuff in them. Just make sure it's not against the rules. to do so. Use Zena's account for Facebook Marketplace. It is okay. I saw you're banned like me. You're in the cool kids club. All of us are banned on Facebook Marketplace. But do that and try Craigslist too. And yeah, see, American Honey saying I overpaid so much. That's the thing. Like, and you want to get what you paid, but you might have paid too much. So just keep that in mind. Separate it into like, like sellable size lots, maybe 10, 15, 20 items. And then you could try it on Whatnot, advertise it, take good pictures, put reseller lots, wholesale. And that's my plan for a lot of mine is those 10, 15, 20, $25 items. I'm going to start putting them in lots to put on Whatnot and run like one wholesale auction a month. So that's what I would do. And I'm not going to forget your dolphin. We haven't done this one yet. Here you go. Dun, 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 dun.
Good one. Try the flea market.
Oh, that's a good idea too. If you have a flea market close to you, put everything out for like $1 or $2, and then it'd move fast because people like $1.
And also too, at the end of the day, just walk up to the other vendors and say they want to buy your table, because I know a lot of people do that, and they will buy it out for maybe 25 cents on the dollar or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I know Leroy does 50 cents and $1 and does very well at the flea market with all of his stuff that's not like enough to go on eBay. Blood, sweat, sell. So if you need some flea market tips, I would reach out to Leroy over on Instagram. He is great.
Also,
Maylene. What?
I was gonna say, depending on if she has a local auction house close by, that she may be, depending what the items are, if they're like toys and figures and collectibles, they may just take a whole load and drop it off, and they'll just auction it off, and you get what you get.
Yeah, that's true. Miss Maylene sent $5 super chat and said, I'm getting a custom shed built. Do you have any suggestions? I assume she means, I don't know if she means on like size, layout, things like that. I would assume.
Go taller than whatever you're thinking. If you can go taller than an 8-foot sidewall, go with a 12-foot. That gives you much more room for a loft in the same amount of square footage. And however big you're building it, build it a little bit bigger than that, and then double the size, because it won't be big enough. So bigger, taller, more space.
All right. I say you do like Commonwealth Picker and get a sponsor for that shed so you can get some people paying for it. That's my first advice. And my second advice is maybe document it. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if you got social media or what, but people might want to see the whole process of your shed being built, the whole layout of it and everything else. So just share it with us, and good luck.
They pretty much said what I was going to say. So that's the cat, because you actually have sheds in your backyard.
The shed that I am sitting in is a custom built shed. And I would say what Scott said, get the biggest shed you can absolutely afford, because I got a 12 by 24 at first and it was absolutely not enough room. So then I ended up buying this one that I'm in. I don't know where you're located. Here in Florida, having it insulated is a must because of humidity, mold, and mildew. And I did spray foam insulation. It was a little more on the front end, but it is 100% worth it. Keeping out like the humidity, plus it keeps it cooler. Like we have an air conditioner in here. I would get a cutout for the air conditioner. I'm assuming you will probably need one. Probably need a dehumidifier too, depending on where you're at. We have triple lofts in here. So there is a 12 by 8 loft above my head. There's a 12 by 8 loft in the middle, and there's a 12 by 8 loft in the other end. So essentially I have 1,500 square feet in the air on top of what's on the ground. Mine is a 12 by 40. And almost the whole top is lofted. So make as much space as you possibly can. And it wasn't very much to add the lofts into it. So, but you do have to have like the gable. I think it's is it a gable roof, Scott, that you need for the lofts? What's it?
Yeah.
A gable roof.
Yeah, because a shed roof won't give you any space.
Correct. So you need to get a gable roof for that. And definitely, like I said, definitely insulate it before you do anything. Cause I did like just the pink insulation in my 12 by 24 and now it's full. And I will tell you, I wish I had spray foam insulated it, but now it would be wouldn't be impossible, but it would be a giant pain in the butt to take everything out to have it spray foam insulated. So definitely I would do that. And I'm going to give you a dolphin. Here you go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Miss Julie said sales have been slow, which is normal during the summer, but do you think it will carry into fourth quarter?
I mean, I don't. For me, sales are slower only when I didn't specifically pick up things that sell in the summer. A couple of summers ago, I bought a bunch of tools, saw blades, concrete stuff. Man, my summer was killing it. But if you sell vintage stuff, you know, it's going to be a little bit slower in the summer. If you sell toys, you're going to be super busy fourth quarter. So really, the whole summer slowdown, if you sell garden hoses and rakes, you're going to be busy. So I would adjust if it's an issue.
Yeah, and like Scott said, it depends on what you're selling. I've had a death pile of VCRs laying around my house, and I finally decided I needed to knock them out. I think it was only about 6, and 5 of them sold in a week. So, I mean, that just told me you got to list things that are that people want. I also had a bunch of these guitar pedal things I found. I listed them. They all sold within a week too, like $400 worth of stuff. So if you find the stuff that people are looking for right now, you won't have a slowdown. But it's always hard. It's always hard to find the stuff that people want right now and that sells super fast. I mean, it'd be easy if we could find that stuff all day. But if you just focus on things that sell fast, you will sell all year long, I think. And the fourth quarter should be good for everybody, but unless you're working more and working harder, you're going to have less sales year after year because there's so many people coming on eBay, so much competition, so many people that even have like teams of people to list on eBay. So the competition's definitely getting tougher. So you got to make sure every fourth quarter that you step up your game a little bit to keep up and hopefully even excel past your peers that are selling on eBay.
So yeah, I mean, they both make good points. It really comes down to what you're selling, because I know a lot of people that aren't having summer slowdown. It just comes down to what you sell. Everybody has a death pile. Make sure you go through the death pile and find items that are going to be selling or something coming up. Like, for example, football season is right around the corner. Right now is a perfect time to list your college and list all your NFL stuff, because that's going to start to kick off. October starts basketball season, hockey season. So that stuff you want to start listing at August, September, at that point in time, because that's going to be really hot at the beginning of the season. Later in the season when the teams suck, people aren't going to want to buy the stuff, but when they're hot or before it starts. So you just got to really pivot your business, look through your death pile, find out what you have laying around that may be selling here. Don't be listing winter coats right now because they're not going to sell until the fall. So it just really comes down to the type of things you do sell and the time of the year and what you have available and what you're picking up.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of said it. We're down like 30%. I hope we're having summer slowdown because I do have almost 6,000 listings and I am hoping that it will go back up. But this weekend we had over 1,000 in sales, which is not bad. And about half of it was newly listed items. So make sure you're listing stuff. I am starting to pay more attention to sell-through rate. So just to kind of echo what everybody said, the more popular items. And I never saw a jump in Q4 because I don't do your traditional present type items. So I typically have been steady through the year, and that includes summer, but I had a long period there of not listing, and that's probably kind of hitting me. And now we're starting to get back listing again. And it is picking up a little bit. Like I said, the weekend was good. And the other platforms have been good to us too lately as well. We had like $500 on the other platforms go out this weekend as well. So not a bad weekend at all. I saw another super chat somewhere. Oh, there it is. Shabby Vintage Bell sent a $6.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, I'm going to give you Yvonne's mermaid. She said I could use them. Here you go. When there's a merman in there, I have to remember. She reminded me there's a merman in there. So Yvonne made that for when they did their takeover while we were in Phoenix, and she said I could keep it. So now I have that in my bag of super chat tricks. That's almost a tongue twister. Miss Lisa said, do I need an inventory log if I have lists perfectly keeping track? I currently keep a pen and paper log as well.
I don't think so. Like, I don't have that. Like, I have everything listed, and I do an inventory once a year, but all I'm doing is comparing what's listed to what I actually have on hand. And then I'll either put the things back up that have fallen off or take the things down that have somehow disappeared. But as far as having a written log, my inventory system is far too simple for that.
Yeah, I'm same on there. I know people do have inventory logs, Excel spreadsheets. It's basically, you can do it however you like it. If it makes you feel better having an inventory separately that you can compare to all your listings, by all means do that. But it's not really necessary unless that's your model of business needs to keep track of the inventory for some reason. But like, so yeah, just do what you want, but you definitely don't have to. And I don't think a lot of resellers are keeping extra track of their inventory besides just what's listed.
Yeah, I pretty much do the same way that they do. Part of the reason for that is you list everything in list perfectly, and it keeps inventory of everything that does sell. So you have, I can go back to look at my sold listings if I need to go adjust something. But I mean, the only thing I really do is like once a year, I'll grab a bunch of my totes, go through and pull out, and I'll find a bunch of items that aren't listed on eBay. Because eBay magically, the eBay theories like to magically just take my items away sometimes. It happens to everybody. And you just got to take them and relist them. So
I don't know what inventory is. Yeah, I don't keep an inventory at all. My eBay is my inventory, and I need to do what Scott does and once a year go through and compare, because I'm sure there are probably hundreds of items that I think are listed that are not, with the amount of inventory I have. So I need to start doing that just to compare, but I do not keep inventory at all. Sapphire wants to know, how was camp listing party?
I wasn't invited.
I was invited. It was awesome. It was so good.
Trish.
Yeah, Trish, what's up? We need ChaChingKing at all these events. Promoters, bring the ChaChingKing. It was so much fun. I got to meet so many people, Kat and Rod. It was so awesome to meet them. I mean, just meeting all the people, the resellers, the YouTubers, the industry professionals, just all the people that do what you do and are interested in what you're interested. It's so fun. It's so unique. I highly recommend just being able to hang out with people that think like you and do stuff you do isn't easy to find. So I enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm so glad I went.
First, I'm going to say bad Trish for not inviting ChaChingKing. But no, it was a great time. Probably here's what a lot of people don't understand is you go there and you're going to get a lot of good information because you hear everyone speak. You get to meet people that you see on YouTube. You get to meet people that you have never knew existed. There's people that are huge in our industry that are, because a lot of times when you are a reseller and you talk to the same people, or you're in like same little similar groups or similar areas, and you don't get to branch out to people across the country sometimes. So one of the good things about these events is, we got to meet a lot of people that I didn't even know who they were to that event. And that's nothing against them. That's just, we're just in two different, stratospheres pretty much. And what is a great thing about this, some of those people will be coming on the show in August. And we're going to have a lot of new guests coming through, and it's going to be a good time there for that. But I would say probably the best part though is getting to meet people. You see them on YouTube, you get to see them up there giving speeches, but it's the downtime that's the best part. Sitting in the lobby, drinking a beer, hanging out.
Till 2 a.m.
2 a.m. having to fill up with a bottle of whiskey.
Every night.
That's the best time.
Every night.
It was great.
But, no, it was a good time. I mean, that's probably my favorite thing. My biggest takeaway is the friends I made there, just hanging out, and just everyone's just super cool. I mean, it's people get intimidated because people have hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube and stuff like that, and we're all just normal people, you know. That's the best part about it, and get to hang out with these people, and you help a lot of other people that are there. That's the best thing.
But before Kat goes, I was invited. I was joking. I even did the whole thing with Clara and Doug on the podcast. So
Scott,
I just
drama
couldn't make it.
sells. You were not invited. We all
Yeah,
heard
way
it
to
here.
go, Scott. All
God,
right.
just take the payback, buddy.
You did a whole video series on this now, and now you just blew it. So
Yes, they're gonna pick you up in a limo on the next one. You're
we were
in.
giving you alley oops, so just take the slam dunk.
Oh
and then
my
just,
goodness. I have to remember that sometimes humor doesn't translate through the Blue Yeti.
Okay, Trish, you got to bring him next year. Okay, I'd flip. Let me answer the question. I'm like, next. It was amazing. It was amazing. I talked about it on the podcast with Doug. Rod, I think, covered it, guys. It's super cool to get to meet everybody that you talk to and see in these chats every single week. For us, like, I see people comment all the time. They're hanging out with me here. They're hanging out with me on Whatnot. And I get to meet them in person. You get to put a face with a name. And like, even like Mikey and Sonny, I've talked to them forever and we've never met in person. So you finally get to meet those people in person. And Rod said it best, like the after hours. So you're networking. Shagan, that was on with us last week, we met him there and he came on the show. And we are having other people that we met there coming on the show soon as well. So it's a great opportunity to meet people you don't know about. And whether it doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber or not, like so many friends are made. Like there is not nobody is unfriendly, and you will make so many friends and you will keep those friends for years and years to come. So I suggest going to them. They are amazing. I'd flip that, send a $4.99 super chat and said, a past champion, a current this Thursday, and a future reseller showdown game show contestants. Sent $4.99 super chat.
Let me address this one. So this Thursday night, I am going to be on the Reselling Showdown game show. I'm going to crush ADH Dave like a bug on that show. So it's me versus him. So if you guys want me to cut a wrestling style promo and post it on Instagram, let me know in the comments. I'll post one up this week, and maybe I'll do a Hulk Hogan style, rip shirt off. Who knows? We'll see. But if you guys want me to mess with them, I will. But yeah, come watch us Thursday night. I think it's 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm gonna crush them.
Yes, and I am the first official champion. I won the first one. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for the champions gladiator style rematch where we all battle out. So good luck to you, Rod. I got the faith. Take that Dave down. Take him down.
And I'm the 27th. I guess we're going counterclockwise now. So put Rod in the hot
We
seat.
don't know what we're doing. We don't know what the heck we're doing. And I am live on Whatnot every week when that show goes on. Otherwise, I would go on it. I was asked, but I am making money. And so, yeah, sorry.
If anybody hasn't seen it, it's super cool. Like,
Is
of
it
all the
like
things-
Doms? Is it like the style of Doms that I went?
It ends like it's more like watching The Price is Right on steroids.
I'll have to watch one of the playbacks.
Yeah, you gotta watch them. They're great.
I'm always live.
Yeah, The Price is Right in Jeopardy and had like a love child. That's what it would be. And just adding some craziness to it. That's the best way to describe it. So
Perfect. All right, here is your dolphin. Dun, dun. Every time I'm dancing. Does anybody on the panel or anybody in the chat know if 3M filters are a bureau?
I don't know.
Don't know.
3M is on the list if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know the filters or not. But I know be careful with 3M stuff if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if one of my mods, I'm sure somebody can grab it. A few of you have moderator privileges. Can somebody find a link to that and drop it in the chat for them, please? Thank you. All right. Miss BB, and this is kind of two-part because she added a little information after, so I'm going to put both. She said, I'm beginning my first somewhat high-dollar auction on Thursday, and I'm nervous. It's a 14-karat gold. I'm assuming probably either a necklace or a brooch with made pearls, and she's doing a 10-day. So I start 10-day auctions on Thursdays, so you get 2 weekends worth of time, and it will end on Sunday, and you get 2 Saturday Sundays. So she's doing a 10-day. Do you have any other advice for her? Because she's starting it this Thursday for a high-dollar necklace, I think. It's a necklace.
I mean, when I've done, I don't do a lot of auctions, but when I do, I also try to drive some traffic to it. So if you can reach out to, if you have people that you communicate with or you follow on Facebook, I would let them know. Instagram, try to get as much traffic to it as possible, because traffic breeds traffic. And if there's lots of people looking and watching and following, other people look and watch and follow.
All right. I don't sell any high dollar auction items. I like to just price it high and wait. But I love Scott's idea of contacting your friends, people that your customers, let them know and drive that traffic. I like that.
Normally, if I have like a high-end auction, my buy price is always really cheap on a lot of items. So I start my high-end auctions off really low, just to get a lot more. I'm not telling you that's the best thing for you to do, and I'm not saying it's the best thing for everybody out there, but I'd like to start off $1 and just run my high-end auctions, because it's going to get so many looks, so much traffic. I always put my auctions on a Thursday because, like Kat said, you're going to hit both those weekends, which is great. And it's a 10-day auction, and I always end mine usually around between 8 and 9 Eastern Standard Time, just for the fact that on a Sunday night between 8 and 9, you're sitting at home watching TV, or laying in bed on your phone. Usually most people are still up. 2/3 of U.S. population is on the East Coast. So I always try to target that time frame.
Yeah, I end mine at 8:32. So Rod's kind of right on the head where I end mine as well. With gold, I feel like you're going to get decent for it. If it's not name brand, you might be looking at just a melt value, unless you take really good pictures. So I would say take amazing pictures. I love, and I'll actually show you, because I've been listing high dollar jewelry on eBay myself lately. So Photo Room, if you have it, has amazing, thanks to Rod getting me hooked on this. My listings now take a lot longer. Has the artificial intelligence backgrounds. I'm trying to find some jewelry. Maybe I deleted it all. I'm going to show you just with my resin jewelry.
Yeah,
but you can make it look really, really nice, and it automatically does that for you. So, like, do some really, really nice pictures like that. I feel like I had a Joan Rivers one that sold for $150 in a day. Like, here's another one with a picture frame that they did. This is from Italy, high dollar picture frame, and it looks like it's on this gorgeous Victorian wallpapered wall. So what I've been doing, if they're higher dollar, is taking the time to do those. You can only do them one by one, but I feel like it's worth it with those higher dollar just to present it better.
Are you doing every one of your photos, or just the first photo that's on your listing?
If they're really high dollar, I'll do like 3 of them. Okay. If they're like $50, I do 1.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling froggy, I do the first one of all of them, no matter how much they cost. But I have been listing mostly higher dollar stuff, so mainly just the first one. Melanie wants to know what membership includes for me to look at your listings. Just the $1.99 one. The lowest one that I have, it's $1.99 a month. That includes the listing reviews, which is this Thursday. I'm still choking and I drank water. I behaved. I might hide for a minute and try and drink more water. Mr. Bob says, what is the eBay fee for a top rated plus seller?
I don't know. Isn't the top rated plus where you have to have the free returns?
Yep, I believe so. And Scott, I thought you were going to bail me out on this one. I don't know this one. Rod,
Mikey
what's the
knows
number?
answer.
What's the number, Rod?
All right,
What is
hold on.
the
I know
fee?
the answer.
Oh.
Here's the answer. It is not enough of a discount for me to offer free returns. So whatever that number is, it is not enticing enough for me to have free returns.
Same
So,
here.
by having the free returns on, you can actually refund up to 50% of the thing. Cat's going to jump in on this one too, but you also get a 10% discount on your overall monthly fees. So if you are a high volume seller, it is well worth it. For me, though, I'm in the same boat as Scott, where I rather do 2 or 3 days because I have YouTube, I have other business stuff going on, and I need that extra day or two for me to ship stuff. For me, it's not where I rather just eat the 10% on my things. Kat's complete opposite, though. She's going to go a different route in this one, where she takes to take every little penny out of there she can. But it works good for her business. So it works good for her. It just doesn't work for our business model. So there's no wrong answer with that. You just have to find out what works best for you.
Yeah, so you save 10%, and when I'm doing well on eBay, my fees are almost $3,000 a month. Okay, so that's $300 a month I'm saving. I might get like 3 or 4 returns, and that $300 would pay for those items, even if I told them to throw them away. And if you have savvy eBay buyers, they are going to get free returns on your butt anyways. So why not turn them on and save 10% on your fees? That's my pitch. But like Rod said, you got to do what works best for you. Okay.
Kat, why don't you explain
That's
to
the main thing.
What your requirements are, though, too, for the people that don't know? Like, what is your requirements, your shipping time, what you have to do for your listings as well?
The only thing is the free 30-day returns, and I think 1 day handling time, which we do 1 day handling anyways. I had it on 2 days for a while, but we ship every day. Like, the reality of it is we ship every day. So yeah. Melanie, she decided to join. I convinced her. How amazing is that? I'm going to give Melanie a dolphin, and then here's the plans right now because it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to give Melanie a dolphin, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to be giving away, and then I'm going to force you to watch a 1-minute commercial for my Whatnot sale, and then we'll come back and give away the stuff. So a tease to make you watch my commercial, and then we'll give you some stuff. So Melanie, here is your dolphin, and I will see you Thursday. Here you go.
Welcome to the Flipping family.
And I'm chatting with somebody right now about getting us more stuff to give away here on the show. And yeah, so we're gonna keep doing giveaways, guys. I have fun giving stuff away, especially when it's not my stuff. That's like the best thing. I give away other people's stuff, and okay. So when we were at Camp Listing Party, I went shopping for you. So I went shopping for stuff I could give away to you. So tonight I'm going to give you 2 things, one at a time. The first one is a super cool List Perfectly bottle opener. It has the bottle opener. It has the pop-a-top. It has a corkscrew. It has a knife. Brad says the knife really isn't that sharp. I'll say it nicely. But so sharpen the knife if you want to use it. And then what else am I going to give away? Let's give away a List Perfectly t-shirt. So I got 2 XLs, so you can enter for the t-shirt when we do it or not. But the theory behind these is that you could wear it as a nightshirt if you're a smaller person. It could be like a nightgown shirt. So we'll give away a shirt and the bottle opener and 24 rolls of tape. Who doesn't want 24 rolls of free packing tape? So those are our 3 giveaways. Now I am going to force you, if you want to win things, to watch my 1-minute commercial, and then we will come back and we will give away all 3 of those things. So here is my commercial, and we will be right back.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to interrupt for a few minutes tonight to give you a preview of all these vintage estate sterling pieces. These will be on my Whatnot sale tomorrow. There are beautiful pieces for yourself, or if you're a reseller, look at these opals. Some great pieces, all sterling silver. They're going to start at $5. So a definite room for resellers or great deals for you yourself. Look at that druzy amazing vintage new old stock. All of this is going to be available tomorrow night on Whatnot. So if you are signed up, come see me. If you're not, use my code, get $15 off, and you could get some of these for free. I appreciate you guys letting me interrupt, and we will get back to the show now.
That wasn't too bad.
Ta-da! There's my commercial. And I didn't put this in. I hit 10,000 followers on Whatnot last night. So at the beginning of tomorrow night's show, I am giving away 10 sterling silver pieces. Before, not, I wish. 10 sterling silver pieces before the show starts. And that means you'll get free shipping on me on 3 more items if you win one of those 10 giveaways. So 10 giveaways to start the show, 5 more giveaways throughout the show, 15 sterling silver. You guys got lucky and I hit 10K before sterling show because I was going to do it of whatever I was doing the next show. You got lucky. So there will be 15 sterling silver giveaways. So let's do the tape first. So do hashtag tape, guys. Don't do it till I tell you. Okay, you can go ahead and do it. I'm going to share that screen and we'll see how many entries. We'll give you a minute or two to enter. There you go. I can't find us. I lost us. Oh, there we are. So hashtag tape, you win 24 rolls of tape. I think I have 1 more pack after this week to give away. So we'll give it away 1 more week. But I'm talking, like I said, we're getting some more stuff to give to you. I'm negotiating right now as we speak. I'm always multitasking. If you don't know me, everybody's like, "How are you answering my YouTube comment and you're live selling on Whatnot?" That's just like, I can't help it. It's what I do. So we got 110. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Joel over at American Bubble Boy gave me 5 cases to give away. So we've been giving away a case a week, and we have 1 more case after this one.
That's awesome.
They're like, do you want? They want us to get more. Yeah, only put it once, guys, because it's only going to count your entry once. So only put it 1 time, and I'll give you guys about a minute more to enter for the tape. You can enter from Facebook or from YouTube, just hashtag tape, and we will pick a winner, and you will email me. Actually, for all these giveaways tonight, you're going to email me, thenurseflipper@yahoo.com. Soon as it turns to 9:06, I'm going to pick a winner. And then we're going to pick some more stuff. Vineyard Edge was. So listen, I'm putting this up here. Oh, sorry, Mikey. You have a whale tail on your face. Miss Vineyard Edge, Miss Val, he said you're going to see him whether you like it or not. She was shopping, buying stuff for me while she was at the grocery store shopping. She was double shopping. So you got to multitask. You got to multitask. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go. All right, let's see who wins. And then we'll do the bottle opener thing. Dun, da, da, da. Mary Stucco, you won the tape. So I will type in my email, thenurseflipper@yahoo.com. That's your next thumbnail. You got it, Mikey. All right, let's do another one. Hold on, let me figure this out. We know this. Let's do hashtag knife. Why not? Hashtag knife. There is a knife on it. So put hashtag knife. This is for the List Perfectly bottle opener thing.
It's just
when
about
you've opened all the bottles, then you'll need the knife.
All the bottles, the wine bottles, the beer bottles. You can open all of the bottles. And it's really nice. It's really nice. I like these things. And I will ship this to you. And then We will do the shirt. Yeah, my go-to tape. Joel is smart when it comes to marketing, isn't he? My go-to tape. He is smart. So thank you again to Joel for giving us 5 and Liz Perfectly for letting me shop. Listen, this is a funny story. I was like, Sonny, get some stuff to give away. He's like, I feel like we're stealing. And I'm like putting stuff in a bag. I asked before I took the stuff. And hi, Evelyn. I love you too. And he was like, Kat, I feel like I'm stealing. I'm like, Sonny, we asked them if we could get stuff to give to our viewers. We are not stealing the stuff. Yes, Miss Barbara's right. You could resell. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with the knife. You can sell it. You can use it. Mark's trying to stab people.
Shank someone with it. Prison fight.
But we do not condone violence here.
Debatable.
We do not. We do not condone violence. All right. Let's go ahead. How many we got? 105. All right, guys. 10 more seconds. I'm not counting down again. Not counting down. All right, go. Let's see who wins the knife. Dun, da, da, da. Kitschy Kinsey. So Kitschy Kinsey, email me. Yay! The nurse flipper at yahoo.com. Miss Barbara, I am not what you think I am. They probably don't want me to sign their pretty knife. I don't think so. All right, let's do one more, guys. Let's do the shirt. So I'm gonna make it easy. We're just gonna do hashtag shirt. But don't do it till I hit this button or it won't count. All right, hashtag shirt. Start collecting comments and go. 2XL. 2XL. List perfectly. The #1 way to sell.
There's an R in shirt, Kat.
There's a shirt.
Oh, jeez.
I was thinking that since I was typing live. I'm like, that'll be my luck. I'll do that, you know. Whoops. Trish, you can get as many of these shirts as you want. If you win this, lady, you're sending them a shirt. We got 101 entries. We'll let it go for like 1 more minute. How's Trish entering? Trish, listen, lady.
Maybe she didn't get a shirt that weekend. You never know. She's running around with like a chicken with his head cut off.
Do you want me to send you a shirt? I have an extra one, Trish.
She wants the thrill of victory. She wants the thrill of victory.
That's true. I enter like every giveaway, whether I want it or not, just because I want to win, right? Like
it's pretty exciting when your name pops up.
Yay, I won. What did I just win? Oh, okay. All right, guys, I am going to draw it. We've got 100. That's the most entries, so everybody loves the shirt the most. All right, let's pick a winner. Dun, 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 dun.
The shirt got more than tape?
Yeah, the shirt got more than tape.
Incredible.
Melanie takes the shirt. Congrats, Miss Melanie. All right. Stop sharing, Kat. Ta-da! So the nurse slipper at yahoo.com. Email me. Tell me what you won. And I will ship it out to you. Oh! They sent $5 for Scott to sing.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Here's what I thought it was super obvious in the video that we were lip syncing. I wrote the song and I had a guy on Fiverr record it. I thought it was super obvious. And now people think I can sing. And like, I have like no musical ability of any kind, like nothing. And I'm better than Melody. So an actual singing video, I would lose my channel. YouTube would be like, no, we're not having that. So, no. Unless I get on Fiverr again.
He'll get you another $5. I'm going to give you the mermaids. Here you go. Mikey, you gave me Hawaiian shirt luck. Look, I just sold this Hawaiian shirt on Mercari. Thank you, Mikey.
All right.
Did Mikey buy it?
Mikey, did you? No.
Did you buy it, Mikey?
Oh, I do like their name though. Their name is very cute, but Mikey did not buy it.
No, $13 is way too expensive for me.
Yeah. $2.99 or less, all right? That's
He
all
would
he
like
bought.
the $1 that I paid for it.
Yeah.
You could come here and get like tons of dollar shirts, Mikey. All the shirts are
I know.
$1 where I go.
Florida's calling. It's calling.
Backpack Baby has a good question. She said, do you contact eBay right away if you get a neutral feedback to have it removed?
I do. I fight every single neutral or negative comment every single time.
Yeah. Oh, well, eBay actually wants you to contact the customer and try to work it out with them first and then get them involved. I kind of don't like that, but, or you can just call eBay and tell them your problems. But lately they've been telling me to work out with the customer first and then they'll step in afterwards. And they did just remove a negative one from some scammer. I don't know exactly how it happened, but they tried to say they had an empty box. I know, and they were just a very first purchase, gave me a negative feedback. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I contacted eBay and I was like, hey, take this down. This is obvious scam. And they're like, work it out with the customer. And that really didn't make me feel good on eBay. I've been on there so many years, so many thousands of dollars I've paid in fees. And I have just a 1-star coming in, obviously trying to scam me with an empty box. So I felt, and gave me the negative feedback without contacting me. So eBay told me to work it out with them. I emailed them back for just about a day and a half and I haven't heard back and the negative feedback is gone. So maybe eBay did do their thing, or the eBay elves, like hopefully they change all the shipping for us. They worked it out.
I'll work out the negatives too.
So anytime I get a negative or if I get a neutral feedback, I email the customer right away. And I just say, hey, was there an issue? What can I do to make things right? Or, hey, you should reach out to me first. We could have, and I would say 9 times out of 10, if the customer was just, maybe they were heated in the moment. And once I contact them, I can usually work that out. But if a customer is just being a prick or just be really just giving me a hard time for no apparent reason, I just reach out to eBay. Because remember, any conversation that you have with them in chat, when you contact eBay, you can use that to your advantage, because eBay will see, I'm like, hey, I reached out to them. They can read that chat saying that I'm going in there trying to be polite and everything else. And I will say it's worked to my favor more times than not when I contact eBay and say, hey, read the chat. I'm trying to work out. I offered them a refund, I offered them this, and this buyer just has a vendetta against me, or they just refuse to do anything. And eBay likes to see that. So they want to push. That's why eBay always pushes the buyer experience through everything. So by reaching out as a seller, you're only going to help your cause to have that removed. And worst case scenario, my backup plan is I always contact eBay for Business on Facebook. And if you call eBay, you're going to pretty much get outsourced. But eBay for Business on Facebook, I feel like you're going to actually talk to more of a human on this side. They could be outsourced, but I usually have a lot better. You can just tell by the dialogue that it is someone that is better understanding things and someone that has a better understanding of eBay's business policies and what they do.
I'm going to go against all 3 of these gentlemen and say, for neutral feedback, I do not spend the time to try and get it removed. Now, if they said something negative about me in the neutral, I might. But most of my neutrals are like, it is what it was. They're just like, I'm like, okay, I shipped it on time. You got what you got. It's not exciting. I had one person put it's a handkerchief. A handkerchief does not deserve a positive feedback. So those I leave because it doesn't hurt my percent. If they said something negative in a neutral, I would try. But if it's not something negative, then I just let it be. Dawn D goalie on Whatnot. I know her name on Whatnot. Sent a $10 super chat and said, congrats on 10K. Thank you. It's so crazy across the different platforms, the different milestones we hit, I'm like, yay, 10K on Whatnot. And Instagram, I think I'm at 13. Yeah. And then, the numbers are so different, but I'm super happy to hit 10K over there on Whatnot. So thank you so much. Here is your dollar. Mom, I I laugh every time I see that because he's like a mini me, and it's so funny because I'm loud. If you've met me I'm loud. Okay, I talk loud, and I think it's from having so many patients that were hard of hearing for so long. I'm just naturally loud. Well, Dalton is also naturally loud because his mother is naturally loud. And I told Brad's like, he is you, Brad. He was like talking to Brad. He's like very loud. And I'm like, yeah, and he has your temper. That's a great combination. A Latin, angry little loud kid. That's like, because he's like so short tempered. It's so funny. All right. I need to give another dolphin. Shagan, who was on with us last week, I'm going to resell it. He's sending Mikey a down payment for a reseller cartel hat. He said he needs a hat, Mikey.
I know.
Shagan, what am I going to give Shagan? I'm giving Shagan. I feel like Shagan needs mermaids. Hey, what in the world is? Thank you guys. We normally don't get this much super chats and members. I appreciate it very, very much. Ellie became a member again. Thursday night is the listing reviews. Ellie, here's the dolphin that's never seen is happy tonight. Here you go.
Welcome to the flipping family.
Talk to it out.
Do a little power hour here, Kat, and start knocking out a lot of these questions because we got a lot sitting here.
I know we have a ton of questions. All right, that means answer the questions fast. Are you ready?
That's my specialty.
Well, we know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a man of few words.
Melanie said she purchased Mega Block Pirates of the Caribbean set. Pieces are missing. Does she purchase the missing pieces, sell as is, or sell in parts?
Sell it as is.
As is for sure. That's too much work to hunt that stuff down.
You're buying profits, not projects. Sell it as is.
I agree. We are unanimous for once on a question. Karen said, I switched everything to the new shipping ground advantage, including items over £1. What do you see as pros or cons for ground advantage versus priority for those heavier items?
Priority is a little bit more expensive and it's a little bit faster. And I mean, for me, that's about it. And you won't have 70-pound items most likely in with your priority stuff. So probably a little safer.
Yeah, and I don't really know the ins and outs of it all, but sometimes that priority, the ground advantage has been cheaper than priority that I've noticed so far. So just rolling with it.
Yeah, they pretty much covered it there, I would say. And then as to add on the Scott's thing, if you do have something that's going to be heavy, like 50, 60 pounds, and it's fit in a flat rate box, you can ship it for $20 or a medium flat rate for 15. So keep that in mind as well. I ship dumbbells all the time that way.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody made a good point. And for me, I mostly charge people for I'll do the ground advantage now that that's the new option. I used to do retail ground. And then as long as their payment covers it, I switch them to priority. And then they're really happy because they get it faster than they expected, than the date it's promised. So that's how I typically do it. Whoa, wrong button. Maylene wants to know if any of us have experienced a chargeback from the buyer's credit card company and wants to know how it works.
I did when eBay first switched over to the managed payments because PayPal didn't forward that to us. They dealt with it. But I haven't had it now in a year or two. So the way it worked before is eBay basically put my money on hold until the credit card company decided. But I don't know if they've quit forwarding them to me or if people quit doing it.
Yeah, my experience is the same with Scott's. It happened once. I don't even remember exactly how it went down, but they held the money until I think they did their investigation.
Yeah, eBay holds the money, and then you have to upload tracking, and then eBay only allows you to upload. When it happened to me, mine happened during the pandemic, and unfortunately, it was an Xbox, like the brand new Xbox that the system, the UPS lost, and it showed up. Mine actually, and I lost my credit card dispute. I had to eat $500 and something on it because I couldn't verify that the package was delivered because it was in limbo. The package, but I will say is make sure you keep a tab on that package because if your package gets lost, I actually reached out to the buyer because I saw that they found the package 2.5 months later, and I asked the buyer to refuse the package, which he was super cool about. He didn't have to do that, and they actually sent it back to me. I had to pay the return shipping, but I mean, that was a $550 system that I got back in the mail. I could have been out $550. So if we do lose a credit card dispute because the item hasn't shown up or it got lost, make sure you continue to watch the tracking on that, and that you can actually reach out to the buyer to try to have them refuse the package.
Yeah, so I have had a couple since I switched to managed payments, and they hold the money. Like Rod said, you upload the tracking number. I also, in my case, they said they didn't buy it and they had left positive feedback. So I also screenshot the positive feedback and included that. And I won both of them. Pretty much, if you can prove you sent it, eBay will cover you, and you won't lose your money. But if you can't prove that they got it, then you can. Rocks to Be Me wants to know if anyone has lost items through the new international program. I just had a third, and eBay blames USPS. I got paid, but it's bothersome.
I haven't had any issue at all.
No, I haven't had any issues, and I like it when you ship it international through the eBay shipping program. You're going to get paid. As long as it makes it to that first destination, you don't have to worry at all. I really like that part of it.
I have one right now that is lost through the new international program, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. And it sucks because they're like, I can't see tracking. And all you can see is that it got to eBay's hub, and then they gave it a new tracking number, and there's no update on it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. The buyer hasn't filed like an official claim. They just emailed me, but I'm hoping it just didn't come as fast as they expected, and it will get there eventually. Miss Belinda has a question for me. What to look for in teapots? So I only pick up teapots if they're worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And what to look for is going to be names. Like Shelly is a good one. What are some other ones? Paragon's a good one. Royal Albert is another one. I would look up each individual teapot. Same thing with cookie jars. They're bigger breakable items that I'm not going to pick them up unless I'm making $100+ profit. So I would not recommend picking up any teapots that are not marked. That's just my personal preference, because most of them that aren't marked are not worth a lot. I will say the exception to that is like Oriental and Asian teapots, and I don't know enough to know what to tell you to look for. Because when I do the high dollar research videos, there are a lot of Oriental and Asian ones, and I don't typically put them in my videos because there are cheap ones that look just like the ones worth hundreds of dollars, and I don't have the knowledge to tell you how to distinguish between the two. Well, why do I keep doing that? Maylene said she noticed some of her listings got deleted. Do you make time to check? And I think we were talking about this a little bit ago. So do we check if we're missing listings? And if so, how often?
I do it once a year.
Yeah, I do it about once a year, and sometimes even just digging through my stuff, I'll just remember or notice something that just I haven't seen it listed, or I'll just know somehow.
Yeah, I do it once a year, but if I'm digging through, like Mikey just said, and I've seen an item that I'm like, this item should have sold already. What's going on? Then I know it's not listed. But also, too, this is why it's so important if you have listed perfectly, all your listings are already in there. So you don't have to retake photos or anything. You just go back and list perfectly and quick relist it within 30 seconds.
I have never done it, and I really should. Because I probably have hundreds. But I do what Mikey said, though, and I have seen stuff, and I'm like, this is a fast seller. Why is it still on my shelf? I look it up. If it's not listed, I put it in with all the stuff I'm pulling to ship that day and bring it back in here to list it again. And with List Perfectly, if it's something I had listed when I had List Perfectly, I can just go search in my items there and just post it back without having to retake the pictures. Let's see. All right. Oh, that's the same one. Karen said, I heard Etsy really shifted to being better for handmade rather than vintage. Where would you list other than eBay or Poshmark for vintage clothing and hard goods?
For me, it's Etsy, and I do well with it. So whatever the trend is, the shift, Etsy would probably be my go-to platform if something went crazy on eBay.
Yeah, I like Etsy. You can get some good prices for that type of stuff on Etsy. They don't mind paying. They're looking for that specialty, vintage, one-off type of item. So definitely throw some Etsy in the mix. Why not?
Yeah, I don't sell on Etsy, so I'll pass the cat.
I'm laughing because I taught Dalton how to do talk to text, and he wrote me like a paragraph asking if I know about a grandma shake. Who knows what the like. So now I get like all of these long texts. He'll talk to me and text me when I'm sitting next to him. Mom, I'm not talking to you. He's talking to text me. I do okay on Etsy. I don't sell a lot. I would say make sure on Etsy, and I saw somebody else saying they haven't really gotten Etsy sales. I think that's actually the next question. I would say, and we'll go through it again, but make sure you're hashtagging it. Make sure you fill everything out and fill out the keywords. But Etsy for me is definitely slower, but I do make sales, probably 3 to 5 sales a week on Etsy, which is compared to 3 to 10 a day on eBay. So it's like 10% of what eBay is for me.
Grimace shake, not grandma shake.
Is that what I don't know what he's talking about.
I just
he won't
Googled,
remember. By the time I get in there,
Good
he'll
call.
have like
Good call.
I just Googled grandma
shake.
shake, and it wasn't a grandma shake. He's sending you a message. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so now Scott and Mikey said you like Etsy. She said, or he, I don't know if this is she or he, they've had no sales on Etsy and Poshmark ever. I sell on eBay and Mercari, so why would you think that they aren't getting sales on Etsy?
I mean, without looking, I don't have any idea. I can tell you that if I'm not listing on Etsy, it works exactly the same as eBay if you're not listing on eBay, and exactly the same as. So a lot of times what we like is where we focus, and then those things do better because that's what we're listing on. So I've never sold anything on Facebook Marketplace because the few items that I had, I didn't do anything with, and then I quit. So.
Yeah, it's just like eBay or any site. First, you got to have some listings built up. You got to have usually some daily activity. They like to see it. And you got to have items that are in demand. If you have stuff there that people really aren't looking for or doesn't have a good sell-through rate, you're going to have a hard time selling it unless you have a whole bunch of items. That's how you defeat slow sell-through rates, is have a lot of inventory so you can get those sales. So just don't give up. Just keep posting and hoping. It's like the other sites aren't as good as eBay, at least for me. Everybody's different, but for most people, eBay is the king. It's the best. It's the biggest site. So when you do cross post on those other sites, I just look at that as extra income or making more money faster by spreading my listings out to other sites.
Yeah, I don't list on Etsy, so take it again, Kat.
Yeah, and I said like I would definitely do the hashtags and stuff. Mile High Mom says, I have a piece of Tiffany & Co. jewelry, authenticated and clean. Both the local jeweler and the Tiffany jeweler said the retail value is $10K. Is eBay still an okay avenue to sell this item?
Not for me. Like, I'm not putting a $10,000 item on there. My biggest sale on eBay is a little over $2,000, and it was, $10,000. I live near Dallas. I'm probably going to sell it up there at an auction or something.
Yeah, 10K is pretty scary on eBay for sure. I know they do have a lot of programs. I don't know. I don't think Tiffany & Company jewelry's in it, but they got watches, sneakers, and I think baseball cards and stuff like that. I'm not sure about baseball cards, but things that actually get authenticated by eBay, and they take care of all that. So if you had one of those items, I wouldn't be afraid too much of going through eBay, but something that's not authenticated or any of that other stuff, I would be hesitant myself, because most of the stuff I sell on eBay, I buy for really cheap. So I'm not personally attached to it. So if something goes wrong, I'm not worried. It's not going to personally hurt me. And if I had a 10K piece of jewelry that went bad on eBay, I would be feeling it.
So I deal with a lot of high-end like video games and comic book stuff like that. And I did have had a very high-end video game that was valued anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 at one point in time. And I would not sell it on eBay. Part of the couple reasons. One is you're dealing from buyer to buyer, so there's a lot more risk. You're the one shipping it. You're the one handling it. Number two is eBay's going to take a high percentage of that, all the way up to like $7,500, and after that, I think it's a smaller percentage from $7,500 on up. But when you're dealing with very high-end items, it's better to go through an auction house. The reason for it is they handle the shipping. They're going to handle The advertisement for it, they have high-end buyers. They also vet their buyers, and they handle, any risks that, you don't have to worry about that risk. And you can negotiate your fees. So with auction houses, a lot of people don't know this, is they charge the buyer a 20% premium to buy that item. So let's just say the item sells for $10,000, they're going to charge that buyer $12,000 to buy that item because there's a 20% upcharge. And then you can actually negotiate, and you can actually sometimes even get a portion of that. So sometimes they'll waive 100% of the fees for you because it's a high-end item, and they're just going to take that 20%. Or sometimes they'll even give you a kickback, so you can get 105% of the value of an item, and they'll be happy with their 15%. So keep it in mind, major auction houses, like Golden Auction House, Heritage Auction House, Sotheby's, you can negotiate your rates with them.
I would sell it on eBay, 100%. I have sold $3,500 purses on eBay. I have a $6,000 painting currently on eBay for sale. I would sell it on eBay, hands down. I will tell you, do not expect the retail value from eBay. I want to make sure you know that. Just because it is worth that, depending on how rare the necklace is, say you might get $2,000 to $3,000. So you're not looking at a $10,000 sale. Realistically, you're probably looking at a $2,000 to $3,000 sale, unless it is very, very rare, in which case it might be worth more than 10K. So if you don't have the W word, worth point, I am like, yeah. If you don't have, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on tonight. If you don't have worth point, I would at least get the 7-day free trial. You need to find that exact necklace, and you need to look at the sales history for the last 10 years. And if it's a Tiffany necklace, there is going to be a history of that necklace. I will tell you, because I have sold a lot of Tiffany pieces on eBay. So yeah. Trish says she would sell it on there. Katrina says she would, but it's up to you and your level of comfort, because everybody else gave you really good ideas as well. If you want quick money, I bet that jeweler that just appraised it would buy it from you. Actually, you know what I found? I found a 14 karat gold necklace in the jewelry I was going through yesterday. And I might just bring that to the jeweler, because I would get more from the jeweler than I would on Whatnot. And then I would have fast cash.
And saving time, everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, because seriously, they stopped making it in 2007. Her daughter found it at a yard sale for $1. So your risk in reality, even though it is worth that much, your risk is $1. If you really, really think about it. I would sell it on eBay. All right, I talked a whole bunch. And everybody has established they believe Dalton is telling me not to drink the Grimace shake because people pass out. And he does watch shorts on YouTube, so it's very possible that he's watching people pass out from drinking the Grimace shake. You guys are probably all right. I will tell you next week if that's what it was, the Grimace shake instead of the grandma shake. Vicky wants to know if you can pick and choose what you want to be a part of your sale, like in bulk at 25% off, like only boots.
Yes. Yeah. When you set up a sale on eBay, you can go through and hand select the items that you want to be included in the sale.
Yep, you can run all kinds of promotions, some at 10, some at 25, some at 50, whatever you want to do. You just set it up in the little markdown manager.
They said it best. Nothing else to add.
Yeah, I'm good with it. What is a specific tip you learned from another reseller and have used ever since?
I think for me, it's the one you hear all the time is we were super inconsistent. 5 years ago, we would list sometimes and then we wouldn't do anything for weeks, and we didn't have good sales. So for me, you start listening to other people and they're like, you got to list consistently, and that we list every day. Or virtually every day.
The specific tip I've learned and like to give is checking out sell-through rates. When I first started, I didn't know anything. I didn't watch any videos. I sold a pocket knife and I decided this is what I wanted to do. So I started watching videos. I started buying a lot of bad stuff that was like maybe mall brand I thought was good. And it was good. People like it, but it doesn't sell through that good. It only sells through like 10, 20%. So I'd had all this stuff that wasn't selling. So now I try to focus either on a high sell-through rate or high ROI, and it's made my business much better.
So when I first started out, I would try to list all my items to maximize my profits at the highest amount, and I would take even items that I would try to squeeze every single dollar out. I'd take items and split them up and stuff like that, and I was wasting a lot of time. So one thing that I did learn is that time is money, and that is more important to keep things moving. You're not paying to store items. You're paying to get these items out and moved. So you want to have a constant cash flow going in your business. And sometimes it's okay to take 60 cents on the dollar for items, and take a smaller profit today and then take nothing tomorrow. So you want to have a constant flow of items coming in and out, because you don't want to turn into a hoarder. And then next thing you know, you have a huge debt pile. You have renting out your second storage unit, and it's just a mess.
So my latest thing I've been using is from Rod, and I've been using that darn AI on Photo Room. But I've been listing high dollar items, and I think it makes them present so much better. So guys, you can constantly change. Anybody that's in my membership knows I am a white background person, but now I'm not. Now I'm like, I'm going to go look fancy. But I did hear that Google now will search non-white background photos, and it doesn't matter as much. So that is one of the reasons I'm also doing it. And my first co-host here on the show, I had two of them, Calvin and Chris, and that was 3 years ago. Chris used to always say, be married to your money, not your stuff, which was exactly what Rod said. Like, if you could get the money, get it and take it. Like, don't form an emotional attachment to your inventory. It is not emotional, it's business. So remember that. I haven't talked to Chris in a while. I still talk to Calvin. I need to reach out to Chris though. If any of you remember Chris and Calvin, tell me in the chat. If you were here 3 years ago when I started this show, a long, long time ago. All right. Can anyone say what a seller receives in ads? I don't know what they mean.
I think promoted listings, maybe.
Maybe it's hard to tell the eBay fees. They keep it very secret.
But you choose the percent. So if you take a 2% ad, you pay 2. You pay whatever that percent is that you choose. But it's not always paid out. That's only if it sells promoted. If it doesn't sell promoted, you wouldn't pay it.
Correct.
I don't think.
You know what they're probably referring to is the dynamic, the adjusting. It adjusts per day, whatever the market value is.
Yeah, but I would never do that unless you have 500 of something.
Yeah.
All right, I don't have an answer for that. Like,
you only pay out if the buyer clicks on your promoted listing. So if the item sells by just organically finding it, you don't pay any promoted listing fees. So that would be my answer to this. And it's whatever that ad percentage was for that day if you're using the dynamic one. I think that's what you're asking, but I don't know.
Okay. Maylene says, Kat, can you quickly explain how Whatnot works? I can try and sum it up, but I do have a video on Whatnot with tips and tricks if you want to sell on Whatnot. So you have to be approved to sell on Whatnot, because you're asking, do you just get online and sell? You have to apply, send them a video, some photos, then you have to go to an onboarding call, and then you can schedule your show and sell. And it is just like eBay. You create your label, you put it on, and you ship it. That's why I like it, because like when I was doing live sales on YouTube, I had to manually do all that. So Whatnot does that for you. But if you watch the video, I give you a lot of tips, and I only have one like how to sell on Whatnot video, so you should be able to find it, or maybe Mark or Marsha can drop it for you. But you do have to apply, get approved, do onboarding, and then you can start selling. Lawrence wants to know if List Perfectly has the feature to automatically do likes on Poshmark. I don't think they do. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh.
They might have a sharing feature coming. I think they might have mentioned that. They might have something coming, but right now I don't think they do. Rod, I think you were the one that mentioned the offer up. Do you want to kind of tell Karen just what it is?
Yeah, so offer up. What was the other one back in the day too? There's another one that merged together. I can't think of the other company's name, but offer up is real similar to like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. It's for local. You can ship things on offer up as well, but it's just another marketplace. You can download the app. It's free to download. It's free to list items. It's free to sell items locally. If you want to add shipping on it, then buyers will have you would pay a percentage if you sell an item that you have to ship. But just another selling platform. I highly recommend it to find merchandise locally for cheap, and I also highly recommend it to move bigger items locally. It's just another avenue for you. So when I have a big item, I cross list on Facebook Marketplace, cross list it on OfferUp, Craigslist.
Perfect. Randomly Beautiful Collectibles says, have any of us started a charity through your business? She wants to do this, but not sure where to start.
No, I mean, you're basically, it may vary. The rules may vary from state to state as well. So any advice you get here would not necessarily apply to what you're doing. I give away a lot of stuff, but as far as applying for like a 403C, anything like that, I've never done it.
Yep, I haven't started any charity through my businesses, but I'd like to give back, and I'd like to find some kind of purpose and really just try to, I've even been thinking about just try to have a purpose or a cause that I can just get to every year and use my influence to help them out.
So your best bet is to meet with an accountant, because they're going to give you the best step of how to set it up and how to get everything, all your ducks in line, so you don't make any mistakes and the cost in the long run. But anytime I would do, I mean, if I do it, any type of partnership or charity, it's going to be through another charity. It's just easier for that. It's a tax write-off, and then it goes to good cause. And we had a great cause at List Perfectly, the Center for Blind in Las Vegas. We'll give them a shout out here just for the fact that it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
They have down there, they actually have a huge eBay warehouse where they have people that are blind, they're homeless, come in there and they work, and they feed them, they clothe them, they give them everything that they need, cell phones, everything. That's their lifeline. And they literally take apart computer parts, and then they have a huge store, and their eBay store sold over 84,000 items, and they put all that money back into the blind community in Las Vegas. So it is a very eBay friendly charity. So if you guys are looking for different charities, highly recommend take a look at that. That's where the Boss Remix is going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be at their event. So big shout out to them for teaming up with them.
Yeah, for sure. And my accountant would probably hang up on me if I told him I wanted to start a charity, because my accounting is so difficult already. I could see him being like, eh. So I would definitely, I agree, ask your accountant about it. I know it's probably going to be a ton of paperwork to go through, but if that's what you want to do, definitely do it. I am like Mikey, we give back, we sponsored Dalton's soccer league for the kids. My community is a lower income community. We sponsored the whole league. So any kid that wanted to play, their soccer was paid for this past season. We also donated to kids that their school bus was hit by a semi. So it's kind of like when stuff touches home and, hits home, I will donate to those specific things. I don't have any one as a go-to, but the Center for the Blind is very, very amazing. Definitely on my list. For sure. It is really awesome. Rod just put a link to it down in the chat. So definitely check that out for sure. But ask your accountant, because they're probably going to have the best words of advice for you, I feel like. And also you'll probably need a lawyer as well, I would think, in getting that started and off the ground. All right, who's on Threads?
I signed up for it.
No, I can't even keep up with my own social media. Why am I going to start another one?
Everybody but Mikey.
Yeah,
I have not posted anything. Yeah. I've not posted anything. I will not lie. I've not threaded yet. Is it called threaded? I've not threaded.
So I highly recommend everyone here get on Threads. The reason for that is it's a brand new social media platform where we're 10 million followers within the first 7 hours. And it has the capability of having a very organic reach. So you always hear about these people going viral when they, just started out. And this is a great time for everyone here is on the same playing field to have an opportunity to go viral. So I would highly recommend. It's just another platform. Everyone's on it. Why not? So it's just an extension of
Mikey.
Instagram.
I know my limits, man. I mean,
Rod told me to get on there. Rod messaged me and said, "Cat, get on this," and I just listened to Rod.
I know. Well, I mean, I could get on, but you're not working. So, I mean, that's like getting a gym membership and not showing up. I mean,
I do that too. I do that too.
Yeah, I already know I'm not going to work it. So why? But I mean, Rod made such good points that I probably will sign up, and maybe I can climb to the top with my witty throw.
You will go viral with your first shirt post, Mikey. I have a feeling.
All right.
A feeling. American Honey said Christmas July live sales this week. Only so much airtime. What should I focus on to get the biggest bang for live sales for Christmas in July? What do you feel like would be best sellers?
I mean, I don't do a lot of live sales, like none. So maybe I'm not the best person to answer that one.
Yeah, I'm not a Christmas guy, but sell what the people want. Check out other people's shows, see what they're selling, see what's going high, and just try to give the people what they want with the best of your ability.
So, I mean, I would, if you have a limited time, I would probably mix up some low-end items and also some high-end items. So that way you have a mixture depending on what your buyers are. But also, too, items that you want to move, items that you think are going to sell well, items that you have, less money into it so that you can take less, because live auctions, usually you will take below what you will get on eBay or another platform. So anytime I do a live auction, I try to go use items that I have a very low buy cost into it. So I minimize my risk.
Yeah, and I would think like ornaments would probably be a good one. I'm going to be doing some jewelry probably for Christmas in July. And like collectibles is where I think I would hit. Kelly says, do you know if List Perfectly is going to get an app? So List Perfectly is a Chrome extension. So I don't feel like they will have an app, but you can do 90% of what you can do on a computer, you can do on your phone by opening List Perfectly in a web page. The only thing you can't do is the actual cross posting. So you can create your listing, take your pictures, do all of that, but you would need to be on a computer or a laptop with Chrome in order to cross post. Miss Eileen wants to know if anyone has had issues with eBay cropping photos. I haven't been able to for a week. So I think she's saying she hasn't been able, like if she wants to crop her photos to do it.
I haven't had any trouble with it, like at all.
No issues here.
No issues here, but anytime eBay has an update, such as changing the new shipping policy, you're going to have a downfall with people are going to have issues. So it makes sense if you are having it, but I'm not. Kat?
Sorry, I don't think I'm allowed to say what I just read, but I'll tell. Yeah, never mind. Okay. I have not had that issue because I take all my photos and I am like Squirrel Tonight times 10, if you haven't noticed. I take all my photos in 1:1 and I crop them with Photo Room. Photo Room has this awesome centered button and it zooms and crops them perfectly centered and it'll do 50 at a time. And I use that. Belinda said, I purchased a vintage plastic toy that is quite dirty. I would like to clean it. So what are your thoughts on cleaning vintage or older toys?
I mean, I normally clean them, and typically what I'll use, as long as the paint isn't coming off. But Dawn is amazing, and if you water it down a little bit in the Q-tip, and it's going to vary from toy to toy. There's some of you could wash the value right out of it, but for most of the plastic toys, nice and clean is better. So I use a very weak mixture of Dawn and water.
I like Dawn. Dawn works good to clean, so I go for some Dawn. Go gently.
So I use Dawn, but I will tell you my number one go-to, especially for like vintage toys and like action figures. You know how you have action figures when you bang them together, they get little marks and stuff on them? Goo Gone and rubbing alcohol. So I like Goo Gone's my number one to go to. Just put a little on a little paper towel and just start rubbing it lightly. It won't mess with the plastic, but it'll take those like little black marks off, especially like a big rubber toy, especially like the action figures. But it's a good way to take a toy that's in okay condition and make it almost a mint condition within a minute or two. So
the only thing I would add to that is alcohol will take ink off. So depending upon the toy, you just got to be careful with alcohol. But yeah, the Goo Gone in alcohol works great for stains.
Goo Gone on Clorox wipes works really good too. I have used that as a mixture.
And rubbing alcohol on video games takes off the people writing their names on a lot. So I use that too.
Katrina asked, is bundling an option when shopping on Whatnot? I'm going to just grab this one and say yes, but only with the same seller for the same sale. So like we do 5 shows a week. If you buy tomorrow night and you also buy Thursday, you're going to have to pay 2 shipping fees, but it automatically bundles everything together in the same sale from the same seller. Like with jewelry, most of mine, you pay for shipping on 1 and the next 2 or 3 are actually free with their new policy. And then you would pay a little bit more for that 4th and 5th one. So it happens automatically. Miss Judy wants to know, when printing shipping labels from eBay, is it possible to have my address removed? And she said she did change some settings from Scot's video.
So you still have to have a return address. But by following the steps that I put in that video, what it allows you to do is not use your home address if your home address is your primary business address. So you can use a post office box. And there are some places that will allow you to have items returned there so that you could use something like that. But you still have to provide something. It just does not have to be your home address anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you really, really don't want to put your home address on there, I didn't want to put my home address on there, so I got a post office box. It works out really great because all my Amazon packages, I ship over there too. I don't have to worry about them sitting outside the door if I'm not here or anything like that. So I don't have any free advice, but you could easily get a box, and it does make things easier to receive, and your address isn't on there.
Yeah, highly. If you're on social media for your business, or if you're doing high quantity on eBay, I highly recommend getting a postal box. It's like $150 or $200 a year, depending on where you live. So, but that's what I use, a PO box for my items.
Yeah, and I use a PO box as well. I didn't get a PO box, and I didn't really care until I had social media, and that's what made me get a PO box. Before that, when I sold on eBay, I had no problem with my address being on the return label. But if you're in a bigger city too, they have like those fake street addresses you can buy or whatever. So you could use that as well. Like at the mail, what are they called? They're like mail stores, right? Isn't that what they're called? Mail stores, I think.
Like
Yeah,
a UPS store or something? Yeah. They have boxes.
Yeah, and they give you like a
address.
street address. It's not a PO box.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sitting Kitty wants to know how to determine the best first items if you've never listed before, so you don't get scammed.
I would pick items that you already have, that you're not using, that have, that have a good sell-through rate, but a low value. And because when you're brand new, some of those people are going to show up, but not something you're emotionally attached to. The belt that you didn't wear that's got a good sell-through rate, or a purse that you never carried, something like that. Something that you can figure out what you're doing without risking everything.
Yeah, for sure. Low emotional attachments, always easy to go. Things from around the house that you really don't care about. And I mean, if sometimes things do go wrong, but for the most part, most of the time, things on eBay go without a problem, without a hitch. People don't post every day when they had 10, 15 sales go successfully with no problems. But if they have one that gets a problem, they're going to post, and then we're going to read about it. And then some people worry, but there's not much to worry about. Just be smart and try not to be too emotionally invested.
So if you're worried about scammers, you're worried about the wrong thing, plain and simple, because I will tell you this. The amount of people that, if you sell on eBay long enough, even the most skillful sellers on there, me, everyone on this panel, I'm sure they have run into scammers, and people try to scam you, everything else. It's part of your business. I write that into my cost of goods. You know what I mean? Like, if I just assume that I'm going to have returns, I'm going to assume that people are going to try to scam me. That's just part of doing business. That happens at every department store out there. But the biggest thing is just focus on what you can sell. Just focus. I mean, you're focused on that negative, and those negatives are going to be less than 1% of your business, what you're going to go through. Focus on the positive. Who cares if someone tries to scam you? Just keep doing what you're doing and keep pushing forward and list as many items as possible. And don't worry about the scammers, because scammers are coming. Just deal with them when they come.
So I'm going to tell you how to dodge scammers, not matter what items you sell. You need to go and buy things, cheap things, like $2 things from 10 or 15 different sellers, cost you 30 or 40 bucks. You get 10 to 15 feedback. If you already have feedback from buying, you probably won't get the scammers, because they hit people with 20 feedback or less typically from what I've seen. So I would recommend buying tape pens, whatever the heck you need to get your feedback up. Or if you need stuff for the house that you would normally buy on Amazon or at the store, buy it on eBay and get your feedback up. And then you shouldn't ever have to deal with the scammer because they target people by feedback number. So that's a big thing. Amy would like to know, Scott, how long do you spend on your annual inventory review?
2 days. I've got a friend of my son's that he does a good job with it, and he makes me a list. So he'll come in and he goes through everything, and I pay him for it. And he just makes me a list of this isn't in here, this wasn't in here, and it's listed on eBay, or you have this and it's not listed anywhere. And he just makes me a list, and then Melody and I go in and fix it. So it's 2 days total, but I don't have a cat size store. So ours is normally around, right now it's low. We got like close to 800 items listed. Normally it's closer to 1,000 to 1,200. But that's a smaller business. And so, if it was cats, it'd probably take a week. If she had somebody like Fabian, the guy that does ours, he's good. So like there's not a big training or learning curve or anything else. He can come in and get started. But I would say 2 days, 500 a day, depending upon the size of your store.
Perfect. Chance asks, if you have an item with parts, but it comes in an original box, do you get more parting it out or selling together if it has a box? So what do you do?
I am much more interested, instead of maximizing every single dollar, I want a higher sale item. So I'm going to sell the whole thing together. I don't want to part it out. Even if it goes for more, then I'll let somebody else part it out. But I'm going to get it sold, get my money, move on to the next item.
I'm like Scott. Usually I just sell it as is. Here's what you got. Here's what I have. Take it or leave it. It's no problem. But recently I had like a couple Pokemon board games, and I didn't know if all the pieces were there or not. So I just parted out some of the stuff that I could find that sold almost as much as the game itself complete. So usually I just like to throw it in the box, but once in a while I'll do the work. It was Pokemon. That's probably why. If it was Chutes and Ladders, I'd say, here you go, there it is. But I knew the Pokemon had value just separately.
So I would say majority of the time I'm just going to just sell it as is. But if it's something I enjoy selling, so if it comes like action figures, that's something I have a passion for. So I will separate that, because sometimes the accessories will actually sell more. Like G.I. Joe's, the accessories sell more than the actual figures do. And so it just depends on it. But I would say 9 out of 10 times, I mean, just it comes down to the amount of time you're going to spend. If you're going to spend 10 times more time for 5-10 extra bucks, it's not worth it. But if you can make 50, 100 extra bucks, then maybe it is worth your time. So it's just going to come down to what item you have.
Yeah, I agree. It really depends on what it is. Most times if something's complete with a box, I kind of want to keep it together. And you have to look at, you might get more individually, but how much more time does it take? So I would think about that as well, when you're parting it out, not just the value. All right, I'm trying to get through these, and we only got a few more left. Is it worth promoting on eBay? I have a lot of items, but no sales and 100% in feedback. So do you feel it's worth promoting?
If you have a lot of items up and no sales, I don't think our promotion is the issue. I think you need to take a close look at your items and how much you're asking for them. Promoting it, if nobody is buying anything anyway, I think it will accomplish nothing.
Yep, and I promote a lot of my items that I sell. A lot of other people are, so if you're down with it, if you want to do it. And if you don't, I mean, you don't have to. That's the best thing about reselling. You can do it any way you want. Just experiment.
Yeah, I think Scott hit the nail on the head. I mean, promotions is the least of your worries at this point in time. If you're having no sales, find out why you're having no sales. So it sounds like either your price point's too high, your shipping cost is maybe way off, or you're just taking horrible photos or bad descriptions and titles. So I would focus on those things first, maybe adjust your pricing. And then if you're starting to see some sales come in, then you're more in around the proper range, and then move over to, doing promoted listings.
Perfect. I think everybody said it Exactly right. Where do you find your stuff? Joseph said he's new, so garage sales or thrift, like the Goodwill bin. So where do you get the majority of your inventory?
The majority of mine at this point are private picks. People call me and ask me if I want to go through places before the estate sale. So that's where I would say 90% of my stuff has come from the last couple of years. But I absolutely love garage sales and the Goodwill bins and all of the above.
Yeah, right now I'm mostly going to thrift stores and then garage sales on the weekends, enjoying the garage sale weather. And I go just a little, I almost go to a thrift store 1 or 2 every day and just stop on in. And then I hit the garage sales on the weekends where hopefully I can pile a truckload of goods away.
If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see I love the garage sales. It's my number one place to go. It's the highest return on your investment. And I like that. I prefer that over the bins just for the fact that I get more selection of items. I can actually control my destiny where I'm going, where the bins, you might have 50 people showing up right when they open at one time. So at least the garage sales, I can control where I'm going and kind of dictate that and have a better understanding of things. But I do a lot better at garage sales.
Yeah, and I buy 95% of mine from online estate auctions. That's my number one go-to. That's why I stopped my thrifting channel, because I don't thrift very much. All right, guys, last question. And Matt joined and became a YouTube member, so thank you. I'll give you a dolphin after this. And Matt wants to know if anyone knows if Boston heads are still selling at all. I don't even know what those are.
I don't know what that is.
No.
So they're just like the heads of like sailors and presidents or something like that. I don't know. That's a good question because I have a whole box of those. And that's been sitting in my death pile for probably a year now. So, yeah, I don't know. I would have to jump on eBay and look.
All right, I'm going to give him his dolphin. Let these gentlemen tell you guys good night. We are a few minutes late right now. And then Rod will tell you and I will tell you what's going on. So here is your dolphin, Matt. Thanks.
Welcome to the flipping family.
Perfect. All right, Scott, are you going to talk at all or are you just going to say bye?
I got this.
Okay. All right, here's Scott, guys.
In September, for the last couple of, I'm getting an echo now. There is a sale that I have volunteered at for a few years now. It's Paw Pals, which is a no-kill shelter in Hillsboro, Texas. But they have a massive garage sale where they will bring in probably $20,000 for the animals. But there is so much good stuff there for resellers. So if you're in the Hillsboro, Texas area, the week of the Friday is the September 22nd. You definitely want to stop at the old Hillsboro Outlet Mall, and it will absolutely be worth your time. It takes us a week to set it up, and it's a ton of fun, and all of the money goes to a good charity. So
Perfect.
how was that, Cat?
Here's Mikey. Perfect, Scott. Good job.
All right, Mikey Bags, thanks for having me on again. I always enjoy chopping it up with everybody. I got videos that come out a few times a week. I'm also live streaming again in Las Vegas on Friday night, so I hope you join me then, probably 7 p.m. Pacific time. I walk around with my wife and friends. We check out things in Vegas. The motto of my channel is buy, sell, and eat, so we do a lot of that on Fridays, and I hope to see you there.
Perfect. Rod?
So as you guys always know, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Pick and Punch, and now on Threads as well. Pick and Punch, and go follow me. If you guys have any questions that we did not answer tonight, send me a message. I do answer every single question and respond to you. I dropped a brand new video today called Finding the Most Inappropriate Items Ever at Garage Sales. It is a little controversial, I will tell you that, so viewer discretion is advised. And yeah, follow me. I'm also on Whatnot, and I'll be on the reselling showdown game show on Thursday night.
Perfect. So tomorrow night, you watch my Force commercial. Tons of gorgeous antique and estate sterling on Whatnot, 8 p.m. Eastern, $5 starts. Friday is my resin art. Don't miss my resin art. You have to support my habit of crafting. And then Thursday will also be a What Sold video. And what else? I'm on Whatnot every night that I'm not here except Saturday. Oh, wish me luck. I'm going scalloping tomorrow. It's our first time this scallop season. It opened 11 days ago. We are going scalloping with Dalton, and I don't know if they've been in here tonight. We're going with Scott. You met him. the Frenchie Flippers, Bill and Vicky, that helped me at camp. Bill and Vicky are going out on the boat with us tomorrow. So see friends that I made at my own camp, and they're going out on the boat with me. And Dalton has been going to swim lessons and diving for the ring. So he's convinced he can dive for a scallop. So it might be interesting. So yeah, we really, really appreciate you guys coming out. We are here every Tuesday night at 8. Mikey and Scott, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you too. Thank you all in the chat for coming. We will see you guys next week. Bye.